You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, always free and available on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. And thanks as always for making us your first listen. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long with the only Chris Level. I'm Casey Cowan. Chris, great to be back with you and on a big day with a big opportunity to make a pit stop within Portal World for just a moment to thank Round Ball. We've got Portal conversation obviously continuing. It seems like around the clock on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. I hope you're caught up with all of our most recent conversations, but we have got a top national showdown, top showdown in the Big 12 Conference coming up later on from the dirtiest of the dirty third. It's Texas Tech, it's Houston, Chris, and this obviously a matchup that's had some heat in it and some fun basketball for different reasons, not necessarily the way you draw it up, but some results that have been fun and exciting to take in, and looking forward to another round and one that's going to be very, very tough. I want to talk a little bit with you on today's episode about what it's going to take to find some success. Toughness will just be a part of that, but a big part of that. Also about what Tech has had to do, given some size that you are lacking and maybe some smaller looks on the floor, but playing bigger than you might imagine. We'll need that again. But in general, Chris, I know it's kind of happening fast and furiously, and you may have to just sort of remind yourself on occasion, it's Tech in Houston coming up. And one of the biggest that you'll have in the Big 12 Conference this season. Are you ready?
Yeah, whether we are or not, it's happening. And you come into this one fresh off of a really nice performance against Oklahoma State, to where you shot the ball extremely well, and so you should have some confidence going into this game. And I do, 2 years ago, you had a good team, and Grant's first year was an NCAA tournament team with a lot of the same pieces that were down there last year, but they were shell-shocked 2 years ago at the Fertitta Center. And I remember Grant saying after the game was over, and like it times passed as time went on, he was like, I just wanted to kind of eyeball certain guys to see how they would handle it. Like what kind of look did they have in their eye when they get defended maybe the way that they've never been defended before. And, like a Kerwin Walton didn't handle it very well that year, but he was better for it last year. Christian Anderson went through it last year, and he handled it just fine. But you're going to take some new pieces into this, and you always hear these comparisons are like, it's like Lamar Jackson in his prime. I'm not sure if he still is or not, but like whoever was running scout team for the opposition, trying to mimic what Lamar Jackson would look like, and then there's the real version of Lamar Jackson. It's like there's no way to replicate like what that actually looks like until you get in there and you feel it, right, and you deal with it. That's the way it is. I mean, I know some coaches when you've played Houston before, and I don't know if this is some elite defensive team for Houston yet, but they have standards, and they're going to defend you differently than anybody else you've played this year, and it's in their building. And so you may not get a good whistle, and let's just hope everybody gets to stay in the game for longer than just 2 or 3 minutes, unlike last year. But I'll just be real curious to see kind of how some of your new guys react to it. Donovan Atwell, Tyree Bryan, Christian and JT, they know what's up, but Lawan Watts, Jalen Petty. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a different deal. This is also an interesting dynamic because he leads them in scoring. Or maybe he's second, but it's right there. This is a player that you were all in on in the last recruiting cycle, and this is a freshman named Kingston Flemings. I think it's pretty widely known you finished a very close second, but his dad ultimately wanted him to play for Kelvin Sampson. I have no problem with that. And Kelvin Sampson typically doesn't lean on a lot of freshmen. They will talk about how they don't lose guys to the portal. They keep their guys around, and there's lots of program types. But Kingston Flemings is brand new, and he's lighting it up. They were in a battle at Cincinnati over the weekend, and then hung on to win it. But Kingston Flemings is, and I think that's how you ended up with Jalen Petty. I think had Kingston Flemings been on your team, he's 6'4", but I think you needed another guard, and you ended up with Jalen Petty. Maybe not a bad consolation prize at all, but because Kingston Flemings, honestly, he may be good enough to maybe one and done here. I don't know if I was prepared to say that before the season started, but I think that it's been pretty good. But Milo Uzan, he kind of did the whole thing that JT Toppin did. Looked at the NBA and I was like, you know what? I'm doing the thing. I'm gonna come back, and so he's back running the point for Houston, and then Joseph Tugler. Joseph Tugler's name was like 4th or 5th on a list of best defensive players in the country by Andy Katz. What was it, back in the summer? And we did a show on this. Our man Luke Bomboye was first. And I told you at the time, I'm like, this is shocking to me because Joseph Tugler is phenomenal. He was, I think he was Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. And he's back, all 6'8", 235. He's a shot blocking machine. And also, anyway, I'm just setting it up. You got your hands full. You got your hands full tonight. And there's been weird drama the last 2 times you've been there, because 2 years ago, I mentioned, you kind of got shell-shocked a little bit. This was when you played good at times, but this is when Jamal Shed, if you remember him, he just went crazy. He was the best player on the floor. I think he went for 29, 30, 31, if memory serves, and just couldn't miss. He kind of put the team on his back. They kind of pulled away, and you just weren't able to sustain it. That was my first trip to the Fertitta Center. And then last year, we know that will go down as one of the all-timers because of your best player and your coach getting tossed 3 minutes into this thing. And luckily the radio guy was able to stay at his seat, even though he kind of threw a bit of a fit too. I thought deserved. But anyway, they've changed that rule. So Grant McCaslin won't have to wad up the stat sheet and throw it up in the air anymore, and all that. But yeah, toughest team won. And then the last time you played these guys, you had 6 dudes. They beat you, and then they wrote on your blackboard, toughest team won. So this is a little spicy here.
Spicy?
Yeah.
It's a little spicy. Chris, I anticipating again, being shorthanded from a front court standpoint and a size standpoint, you'll do the best with what you got. And I'm just wondering if maybe, I don't know, are they getting any more comfortable kind of operating in that fashion? Not that that's where you want to be all season, but what do you make of it?
Styles make fights. This is a bad time not to have some taller, bigger people. This particular matchup, you can survive it against teams that are perimeter oriented, but this will be a lot to ask. Trying to keep JT out of foul trouble, trying to get him a rest at all, and having to go small. Because Houston's one of those teams, they did this last year with Tugler and the Francis kid that has since graduated. They play with 2 bigs. Not a lot of teams do.
First, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, and football is in full force, and FanDuel's keeping you stocked with action every game day with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet only $5, and if your bet hits, you're getting $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. Any way you like it, FanDuel has you covered. Quick, easy, and secure every time. If you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
Today's episode brought to you by Open Door Financial. And if you're a Red Raider balancing family and career, you've probably thought about your financial future, retirement, getting out of debt, leaving a legacy for your kids.
But here's the thing. Most financial advisors just trying to sell you something, hit a quota, or they only work with clients who have huge investment minimums. And that's not how it should be done. That's where Open Door Financial Advisors comes in, doing things differently. They were founded by a 2007 Texas Tech graduate right here in Lubbock, and they've spent over 15 years serving Red Raider families across the nation with one simple mission: helping you gain financial freedom and peace of mind, no matter where you're starting from. And Chris, you've got a long relationship with Open Door Financial Advisors, and that's the thing they really love doing most, being Red Raiders that help out Red Raiders.
Yeah, Derek Finley, man, he is one of us. He is a Texas Tech guy that really wants to help Texas Tech people, and it doesn't matter where you live either, because I think he's got clients from all over. But he is based in Lubbock, and it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to get out of debt, or you're trying to how do I get wealthy and secure my future by saving, he can handle anything in between, all of it. But yeah, check him out. But Derek's good people, and he's a Red Raider. He's been on this journey for many years as it relates to Texas Tech. So
he knows what you're going through.
Yes.
They work on a subscription-based fee-only model, which means they're never earning commissions on anything they're selling you. So there's no hidden agendas, no investment minimums, just straightforward advice. So whether, like Chris said, it's organizing investments, crushing debt, or building a legacy that goes beyond just money, they're ready to help families of all needs and resources, all while living by West Texas values, truth, and grit. So if you're ready to work toward your big horizon, visit Open Door FA. That's opendoorfa.com to connect with Open Door Financial Advisors. Honest guidance for Red Raider families who want to take care of what matters most.
They play with two bigs. Not a lot of teams do. Oklahoma State did that a little bit to you, the other day, and they were kind of hammering you, but you were just making so many threes that math, right? Three's better than two, and you kind of pulled away and all that. But Chris Sanak is a freshman for them. He's 6'11", 240. I mentioned Tugler, and they've got another 6'11" named Khalifa Sacco. They're going to have size on the floor all the time, and I just think you may have a hard time matching up. That's what worries me in this one. Lawan Watts will just have to play some big minutes, like literally. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes, but he's also going to have to play a lot of those minutes as a big and get matched up with people that. And so, I don't know, maybe you can flip it. But, boy, it sure would be nice to pour in 17 threes again. But I don't anticipate anybody new being available. That's just a guess on my part compared to what you had on Saturday. What you did have Tyree Bryan. Those wings are just going to have to play some big boy minutes. And, hell, you did it last year without JT, but you had Federico. Darian played well. Chance McMillan played incredibly well. Christian played incredibly well. I mean, so some of these guys are just going to have to elevate if you're without Bamboye and Josiah Mosley and Mario Lakuntak, and I suspect you will be without those guys.
Yeah, it's not the ideal circumstance, but I'm curious to see what Grant and company come up with. They're crafty, Chris. They're going to have some ideas to make the best out of the circumstance. I know that. Weight room game. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, and folks, this is a top 15 matchup nationally. I know everybody is focused on football in the portal. I am too, but this is a top 15 matchup in the country. And I think if you look at some of the analytics, they feel like this will be, a 6-7 point game in favor of Houston. And you're going to see these guys in a couple of 3 weeks, but this is just one of those games where I hope between the Oklahoma State game and tip-off tonight that you found some time to throw some weights around, because it's much needed. Because if you haven't and you're not ready, and that's a mental thing as much as anything, if you haven't, you're going to get pushed, you're going to get shoved, you're going to get frustrated, and they're going to get you. And unlike any other team, I think Arizona has been bullying people this year. They're not really relying on the 3-point shot. and they're bullying people in the paint and all that. But there's some teams in this league, man, where if you just don't, if you don't have it on point, man, and you don't walk around kind of bowed up a little bit, and you hadn't been in the weight room, it will be exploited times 10 this evening. That's just how it's going to go, man. So hopefully got a little tries worked on, little curls for the girl, I mean, whatever it took, man. But it may be all about the lower half in this one.
This is a glute game. That's what I was going to say.
There you go. Yep. Squats
and elbows, whatever that is. Elbows and glutes. Take them all, use them all. Man, looking forward to this big opportunity so early on in the Big 12 schedule. For better or worse on the scoreboard, you should be better off as a team because of this early experience. So I'm not mad to have it. I know it's incredibly tough. It's going to be a steep hill, but I don't mind it early on.
I think I almost probably forgot to bring that up. I think you make a valid point in that this is the Illinois, the Purdue's, the Dukes, all that. It's supposed to prepare you for this. I mean, Fertitta Center is very daunting, but it only holds like 7,000 people. I mean, that would be the lower bowl in the Garden. I mean, you pulled this off against Duke, who some would think Duke's a much better team than Houston, and so you ought to be able to glean plenty from that. I just have the utmost respect for Houston and what they have done in this league since they showed up to the Big 12. It's been damn impressive, man. And but you've been able to play with them a little bit, and we'll see kind of what it looks like tonight. But you're going to get 2 cracks at them here in the next, over the next 3 weeks or so. You're going to get them tonight, and they're going to be back in Lubbock on a Saturday night in a couple of weeks, I think, maybe like 2.5 weeks. So, and these are resume opportunities here. It won't hurt you tonight if it doesn't go well, and if you do get it, they put an asterisk next to it because it looks so good.
Let's go on and steal it. Let's go ahead and go get it. I like that idea. All right, Chris, appreciate your time to get ready for this one on the hardwood. Again, as I've already mentioned, hope you're caught up. If not, get that way with all of our Portal Conversation on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. And stay close, boys and girls. Stay close. Get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts so you never miss a thing as that continues to swirl in all the most exciting ways. Chris, appreciate you, man. Travel safe. We'll see you for the next one.
Guns up, people. Talk to you next time.
And thank you to the Everydayers for always riding along. And, of course, the Matador Mob. Find a link to a free 14-day trial in our show notes. That's your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one text sent straight to your phone. For Chris, I'm Casey. Thanks, as always, for the time. We hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.